Yeah, it's the new one, I know that much. This is my old phone, which has actually got a better camera on it than my new one, somehow. But I left it in the car, and it's gone flatter than a pancake. It's been run over by a fat geezer in a steamroller.
Welcome to Hairy Steve's workshop.
Hello, it's Hairy Steve back in the workshop, and as you might be able to hear in the background, it's raining, which I think means we've officially come to the end of the summer in the UK. Not that we really get much of a summer in the UK apart from those 3 days when it was warm. But anyway, I've got an empty workbench this evening, so I suppose I better find something to put on it. Ooh, what's this? Oh. Huh. It's a box. Specifically, the new Warhammer Kill Team set, the Hivestorm. So let's have a look through it. Okay, here it is, the brand new Hivestorm Kill Team set, which has got all the new rule books and everything in it. This is, I think, the 3rd edition of Kill Team. This set contains basically 2 complete Kill Team armies, a load of terrain, all the rule books, and all sorts of other stuff. So let's have a look inside. So let's have a quick look at the back first, show you what you get in there. So you get the complete game board with all the terrain, loads of accessories, 2 complete armies. So you get a Tempestus Aquilon army and a Vespid Stingwing army, and there's 11 models in each army. And you get the rule books, so you get the Kill Team core book, Kill Team Hivestorm dossier, assembly guide, core token sheet, combined Kill Team token sheet, Kill Team approved ops card pack, and 10 dice, and all the models. So there's enough in here. You basically open this box up, build it all, paint it all, and just play straight away from the word go. You don't need anything else to get into the new version Kill Team. And you've got a little QR code up the top there which you can scan to get a copy of the rules on your phone as well. So now for the bit you've all been waiting for, let's actually have a look in the box. Here we go. This is the first time I've seen in this box as well. I've literally just unsealed it, so this is as new to me as it is to you. Ta-da! That's quite a lot of plastic. Right, so let's have a quick look through here. We have got, that looks like Vespid. That's definitely Vespid, because that's got wings all over it. So those can go there for the minute. That's part of the Tempestus set. So that. Wish I had a bigger workbench. And then all the terrain. So various sections of ruined buildings. Definitely going to need a bigger workbench. Have to pile it all up there for the minute. Yeah, more sections of ruins, and more, and more, and more, and that's some of the accessories you get with it. So, oh god, I'm definitely running out of room around here. Stay. This is some of the things like ladders and barricades and stuff like that. Right, and then this, I would imagine, is probably the game board. Let's open it up and find out. Oh yeah, that's the game board. It's quite okay. There we go. And there. So it's kind of got a kind of derelict city sort of vibe to it with all this rubble and everything, and it's double-sided. So again, kind of a rubbly type thing going on, which goes in with the whole idea of this particular set is that it's on a derelict city planet. Move that out of the way. And then down here we have, that's quite heavy, I'd imagine that's the rule books. I'll put that aside for the minute, I'll come back to that. And then in the bottom here we've got some bases for some of the figures. And when I'm not throwing them on the floor, some dice. So, as I say, there's literally everything you need in here, apart from glue and paint, obviously, to just get it all out of the box and just play straight away. Well, not straight away, obviously you have to make everything first. Right, let's put that down there, and you can see this mountain of plastic that came out of it. Quite a lot of it. This box here, I would imagine, contains the rule books. Right, so we've got the core rule book there. And we've got the Hivestorm dossier, which, if I remember correctly, is rules specific to this particular version, with the Vespid and the Tempestus and all this city terrain. And then this is the assembly instructions for all the various models, which I'll have a look through in a sec. And then there's a bunch of cardboard tokens here. These are double-sided printed, and they're all sort of stamped out of a big sheet of cards, so they all pop out. And you've also got rulers there, so there's a 1, 2 and 3 inch ruler on that side and a 6 inch ruler on that side. Put them over there as well. And then we've got the approved ops card pack. So this card pack is a key supplement to the kill team, blah 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 blah. If I remember correctly, if you buy extra armies for this set, then you can buy these card sets for those particular armies as well. So you can get extra ones of these for various other armies, you know, as you collect extra armies for them. And I think, yeah, the rest is just packaging. So that's pretty much everything that's in there. So I'm going to have a quick look through the building instructions, because I noticed that there were a few weapon options for different models. So I'm going to see if you have to build them in a certain way or if you can change them around a bit. Okay, so this is the instruction manual for the Hivestorm Kill Team set. So this is the build manual. So it's got a list in here of all of the various sprues and parts. Let me get me light in a better position, that's better. So you've got 2 armies in here. You've got the Aquilons and the Vespid, and it shows you which size bases you need. There's various weapon options for them as well. And then you've got the sprues here, so you've got 3 sprues for each army, and then about 500 sprues for all the terrain and the accessories there as well. So they start off with the Aquilons, and these are the various weapon options that you've got for them. Unfortunately, there's no specifications, stats in here for them in terms of what damage they do, what range they've got, etc. But at least it shows you what they all are. And then you've got various head options there, things like that. And then, as I say, it goes through, it shows you all the various options for putting them together in different configurations. So you have to choose which version you want to build. Like this guy, it looks like there's 4 different options for him. So when you're putting these together, the way I'm reading it is that, say for example this one, you can build him either as a grenadier or as a normal trooper. So I would imagine if you were building this set, and it'd probably be available separately at a later stage, if you're building it for just normal 40k use, then you could just build them all up as normal troopers. But then for kill team, you can build a lot of them up as specialist units, like the grenadier, the gunfighter, the gunner, the marksman, the precursor, and so on. About half of them are normal troops anyway, so it gives you the option as you go through to put different weapons on them and different heads and all that kind of stuff, which is nice because then you can customise them a bit. And from experience with a couple of other kill team sets, I've got a set of kill team pathfinders upstairs, which is basically a normal set of pathfinders with an extra sprue for all the different weapons that the kill team versions use. And in the newer codex, they do actually give you the option of having all of those weapons in normal 40k as well, which is quite nice, because then you're not building a specific team only for kill team. You can't use it in the main game. You can use these guys in the main game as well. So the instructions are fairly clear and well laid out. As I say, I haven't really gone through them properly yet. I certainly haven't started building anything yet. But you get 10 infantry figures, and you get the little gun drone robot as well, which that's got 3 weapon options there, and they just fit onto a little post on the side of the robot there, so you could magnetise that quite easily, so you can change weapons out. That's the Aquilans, and then this is the Vespid. These are brand new models for the Vespid as well, and again you've got various weapon options there. So you've got flamer, neutron blaster, neutron grenade launcher, neutron rail rifle, neutron sting, claws, and ram. I would imagine, I was looking at that earlier saying I didn't know why was it called a ram when it's then called something else later on, but I would imagine that can actually crash into somebody and like kamikaze them. And again, you've got various head options across here, and Vespid Strain Leader or Warrior. So again, you've got the option of building it up either as just a set of normal warriors or as a kill team specific set with all the specialist guys. So again, you've got the Vespid Strain Leader, you've got the long Sting, who's got the big sniper rifle, the Shade Strain, who's got this weird sort of stealth helmet thing on. It looks like he's stolen the top off a ghost kill. And then over here you've got the Sky Blast, which has got the big grenade launcher, and the Swarm Guard, who's got a flamethrower. And then the rest are just normal Vespid troops with the neutron rifles. And then the little drone there as well, the oversight drone. And then we've come onto the terrain. So we've got 2 large pieces of terrain, which they call a stronghold. So we've got these sort of chemical tanks down one wall. One of them is open, presumably you could pop something in there. So it's like kind of an L-shaped section of wall there with a piece of floor. And then on the next page you have these other 2 sections of wall. So it is more or less enclosed, but some of the walls are quite low there. So I don't know how that would count in terms of cover and things. And then you've got a second one here, which again, it's got a main section of wall here, and then it's got lower walls here. And it's got a section of, it's actually got 2 sections of floor there, so there's a very high level up there as well, which you could pop a sniper on or something like that, and a middle section of wall. So those are your 2 main buildings, and looking at the size of the parts on these sprues, they're going to be fairly substantial buildings. And then there are these various bits and pieces of rubble and crates and stuff like that. And then on the next page you've got 2 ruins. So you've got these ones here, which are basically just sections of like 2 bits of wall with a section of floor that goes in there, and there's 2 different ones of them which end up looking like that. and then you've got some smaller ruins there, which are basically just L-shaped sections of wall, and then you've got some heavy rubble, which is large chunks of rubble, and then you've got some smaller chunks of rubble there, and then down here you've got all of the universal equipment. Some of this is basically just barricades, so you've got these riot shields and walls and stuff like that, but some of it is actually functional. I'm not sure, I haven't really read the rules yet. So things like these ladders, the smoke grenades, and then there's various types of grenades here. There's ammo caches and all sorts of stuff, which I would imagine are acting as objectives, or if you pick them up then it gives you special abilities, that kind of thing. But I'll have a look through the main rule book in a minute as well and see what it says. So yes, and that's the last thing. You also get these two ruler section pieces as well. So you've got a 6-inch ruler there, and then this little one here. So it's 1 inch on one side, 2 inch on the other side, and then 3 inches across there. So that's quite neat. And then you've got some examples of how to paint it all up on the back there as well. So that's a quick look through the instructions on there, and I'll have a look through the parts next. Okay, that's a quick look through the instructions of how to build the models. So let's have a look at the parts themselves. Okay, this is the mountain of plastic parts that they give you for all of the terrain. So start with this sprue, which is the sort of objectives and equipment sprue. So it's got various bits and pieces. So you've got these measuring sticks here. You've got ladders, collapsed ladders and extended, all sorts of stuff. Ammo boxes, shields, that's a smoke grenade, barbed wire, big chunky riot shields, more grenades, and again really nicely, oh yeah, radios as well. So it's all really nicely detailed on both sides. So that's one of the sprues, and then onto the actual terrain itself. So we've got various wall sections, section of floor. This is all for one of the, well, I think it's all for one of the large buildings. I haven't really worked out which parts go with which building, and it is enormously thick plastic, and pretty much all of it is double-sided detailed with the exception of the floor. But then, as you say, it's a floor, you know, you're not really going to be crouching down and peering underneath it. But the amount of surface detail on this, I mean, things like that cylinder thing there is all dented up, and there's bullet marks and scrapes and dents and stuff all over everything. It looks really good. It's going to need a very good paint job to get the best out of it, which is going to be interesting because I'm not all that great at painting, but I'm getting there. So again, we've got sections of wall there. We've got these chemical tank things which go with one of the other sprues further down. There's a couple of sections of rubble there, and then this big chunky bit of rubble here, and this I think is, yeah, that's a section of floor. It's the only section of floor that I've seen so far which has actually got double-sided detail, which is rather nice. So you see it's got detail under there as well. And again, lots and lots of surface detail on it. Lots of things like dents, scrapes, bullet impacts, all kind of stuff. And then this one. So again, some more walls. I believe that this one here is for one of the big square ruins, but the one with 3 levels, because it's got this extra set of mountings up here for, I believe it's that section of floor there actually, but I might be wrong. And then this low wall section here, and then another piece there. And again, it is incredibly thick plastic. I mean, you know, you'd probably have to go some to actually damage these, and I can see why they've done it, because obviously these are designed to be used in a game, so they want them to be nice and sturdy, and they certainly are. I mean, these screws, I don't know how much they weigh, but there's a hell of a lot of plastic here. And we've got some more here, so again, some more floor sections there for one of the ruins. Section of low wall there. A big wall section there. Presumably for one of the... Yeah, because that one, it's all broken away at this end. I would imagine this is one of the L-shaped ruin sections. And same with this one here. These doors, unfortunately, are moulded in place, because I was hoping that they have a similar system to on the boarding patrol or boarding actions game, where you can actually open and close doors, which adds a bit of a dynamic to it, because you have to use a section of movement to open or close a door. So if you open a door and there happens to be a bunch of enemy on the other side, they can come running through and shoot you in the face if you don't time it right. But these are moulded closed, but there we go. And then again, this section here, this bit and this bit are part of this large ruin with the chemical tanks down the side, and some more bits of rubble there. That I think is a section of one of the smaller ruins, and then there's some crates there as well. And again, plenty of detail on the other side. Obviously these tanks, they didn't bother to mould the interior, but you know, they're going to be closed off, you're only going to see it. And the crates are hollow, just to save plastic. So, but they look really good, and things like bullet marks in the wall and bent levers and stuff like that is just really nicely detailed. And then this is the last piece. So again, we've got this big section of floor here, and another big lump of wall there, which again, I'm not sure if that's the section with three levels, or if it's the section with two. I think it's the section with two. It doesn't look like it's high enough. And then you've got these two big sort of piles of low rubble here and here as well. And again, that section of floor is detailed underneath. That's the top surface, and that's the bottom surface. So it's got some detail on the bottom, and lots of detail on the back of the wall there. Even things like a broken light above the door like that. That's quite fun. But yeah, really nicely moulded, really nicely detailed, bloody heavy, and tons of it. I mean, these sprues are... There's my ruler section on here. About 30 centimetres long by about 20 centimetres wide, and there's 6 of them. So, I mean, these ruins, I mean, that's one wall. So these ruins are probably going to be in the region of 20 centimetres square, looking at the size of the parts. So they are, they're decent sized buildings and not just little. It's not like using a matchbox to play around. You actually got some decent sized sections of ruin to play with. So yeah. So that's all of the terrain, and that's all of the in-game equipment. So next we'll have a look at the actual models of the infantry. Okay, that's all of the terrain and scenery and equipment out of the way. Now let's have a look at the actual models of the armies. Okay, here we have the sprues for the Tempestus Aquilans. So we've got 3 sprues in total, well, sort of 2 joined together plus 1 bit. So again, I'm going to move this one across a little bit, get a bit of a close-up. So, very nicely moulded, very nicely detailed, as we've come to expect from Games Workshop now. And it's all nicely laid out. I think we're looking at the back of the sprue at the moment, so yeah, here we are. So on the front of the sprue here you've got all the part numbers and various head and weapon options. Most of this is the jetpacks, because these guys are designed to sort of jump in from dropships or something like that. So I'd imagine they've all got jetpacks on their backs. So that's that sprue. And then this half of the sprue, we've got various weapon options, and there's the parts for the little gun drone robot there as well. And again, it's all nicely moulded, all nicely laid out. Move this one down here so I don't get a shadow across it. And various different head options up there as well. So there's quite a few of these head options with sort of gas mask type things on them, and then there's a few more there, and lots of equipment and, as I say, different weapon options, that kind of thing. So yeah, very nicely moulded, lots of detail. Okay, and these are the sprues for the Vespid. So let's start with this one. This one's mostly got the wings and the head options. There's 12 head options there, so you got a couple of different options for the heads, and then there's a little drone there as well. And these are nicely moulded. These wings look really good. This is the first time we've had plastic Vespids. All of the previous ones, as far as I remember, have all been resin and looked a bit sort of static. You know, it's basically just blokes with wings as opposed to actually looking like flying things. And then onto this sprue, or these sprues over here. So again, we've got mostly bodies and legs on this one, and a few bits of terrain with feet attached to them and stuff like that. And then up here we've got some more bodies and most of the weapon options. So as I say, there's a lot of these neutron blasters in this kit, but you can build them up as either a regular set of Vespid troops with basically all neutron blasters, or you can build them up as a specialist squad with all the different weapon options. And they do look really nicely detailed. And then one of them's got this rail rifle as well. And so on the back, and again, lots of detail, all nicely laid out with numbers so you can find everything quite easily. Well, I wouldn't say quite easily, there's so many parts here it might take a little while. So yeah, and that's the Vespid sprues. Okay, so that was a quick look at the sprues for the infantry models themselves. I'm not sure about the Aquilans. I don't really know a huge amount about the army that they're part of. I think it's the Imperial Guard. I think they're like an elite drop squad attached to the Imperial Guard, from what I remember. But I don't know if this is the first time they've been available in plastic, or if they've even been available at all. But it's certainly the first time that Vespid have been available in plastic. And yeah, they're all really nicely moulded figures, and lots of detail, a hell of a lot of parts. and a lot of like options for different heads, weapons, that kind of thing. So yeah, looking good. Okay, and the last thing in the box are the 2 books. So you've got the Hivestorm dossier, and you've also got the Kill Team Core Rule book. So let's have a quick look through the Hivestorm one first of all. So this has got a bit of background on Volcus, which is where this particular set is based, as it were. A bit of background on the Tempestus Aquilans and the Vespid Stingwings, and then the Kill Team rules and the missions. And then subdivided into that. So with the Aquilans and the Stingwings here, you've got the Kill Team selection, faction rules, ploys, data cards, faction equipment, designer's commentary, and universal equipment. So there's a bit of background as to who they are, and then there's a bit here about the different characters. So you got the Tempesta, the Grenadier, the Gunfighter, the Gunner, Marksman, Precursor, and the Servo Sentry, and then the normal troopers there as well. So a bit of background about the Vespid, and then again there's the different operatives here. So you got the Strain Leader, the Oversight Drone, the Long Sting, the Shade Strain, Skyblast, Swarm Guard, and the Standard Warriors. And then onto the actual Kill Team rules. So you've got basically the composition of each team. So operatives, Tempesta operative with one of the following options, and it gives you all the weapon options as to who can have what. And then faction rules, so drop insertion, grav shoot, strategy ploys, and then firefight ploys. I'll have to read through this one and do a bit more of a read up on it as to exactly how all the rules work. So I'm used to 10th edition, which I haven't played that much, but this looks similar but different enough that I'm probably going to have to learn it all from scratch. And then here we are, here are the actual rules. So I'll take some footage of these. I'll probably just take a bunch of photos, to be honest. So we've got the Aquilin Tempesta, the Grenadier, the Gunfighter, the Gunner, the Marksman, the Precursor, the Servo Sentry, and the normal troopers. That's different. Just noticed that the flamer on the Servo Sentry doesn't auto hit. It's on 2+, which is basically an auto hit, but not quite. And then it's got faction equipment here. So you've got things like the daggers there. Combat stim, you can ignore any changes to the move strat of friendly injured operatives. And then designer's commentary. Tempestus Aquilans are a tactical shooting kill team. They have an unparalleled ability to descend into the kill zone mid-battle and at their best when engaging early. Fair enough. Yeah, we've got the same for the Vespid here as well. So again, you can have one Vespid Stingwing Strain Leader, an Oversight Drone, and 8 Vespid Stingwing operatives selected from the following list. Faction rules, strategy ploys, firefight ploys, and then all of the rules again for the Vespid. So again, I'll take some photos of these and put them up. So you got the Strain Leader, the Oversight Drone, the Long Sting, Shade Strain, Skyblast, Swarm Guard and the Standard Warriors. It looks like you can only take, as well as the commander, you can only take 3 operatives, so you have to choose. You can't just pile all of the operatives in with the army, and I'd imagine these guys are the same, so you have to pick and choose what you take. You can't just pile them all in, but I would imagine you can build up all of the various options and then just go, right, for the purposes of this game I've got that and the rest are normal. And designer's commentary: Vespid Stingwings are an offensive kill team with swarm-like instinctual behaviours. They have some powerful ranged weapons, but your operatives will always prioritise a close threat, so you'll have to plan your attacks to maximise their offensive potential. And then we've got some missions here as well. Looks like there's kind of a storyline going on here, so you have to disable the air defences, and then if you succeed you can do a drop and engage, and if you succeed that you can do a hunt from above, and if you don't disable the air defences you have to do a scrambled drop. Yeah, so it's more like a sort of a storyline, and then it gives you different layouts for different games. So you put the terrain down and you've got different drop zones for each army. So again, you've got the drop and engage mission, so again the terrain gets moved around a bit, so it's never quite the same, using the same terrain but in different layouts. I've never actually played Kill Team before, so I don't know how long a game would take. But if you had all day, I suppose you could do the entire storyline. You could do the first mission, then whoever wins or loses the first mission, that would dictate the second mission, which then again, whoever wins or loses, that would dictate the third mission. It's got all this universal equipment here as well. So it says what does what. Yeah, so the ammo supply, for example. One of your ammo cache markers the active operative controls is used during this turn. Until the start of the next turning point, whenever this operative is shooting with a weapon from its data card, you can re-roll one of your attack dice. An operative cannot perform this action while within control range of an enemy operative if that marker isn't yours or if the marker has been used. So all of these bits and pieces, like these ladders and mines and comms devices and stuff like that, they've all got uses. They're not just there to look pretty, well some of them are, but they all have uses within the game. So like the razor wire, for example, whenever an operative would cross this terrain feature within 1 inch of it, treat the distance as an additional 2 inches. So it's like you've got tangled up in it, so it's going to take longer to get through it. Heavy barricade. Before the battle you can set it up wholly within 2 inches of your drop zone. That gives you extra cover when you drop in, so you're not immediately getting shot at. Ladders, so you can use them to access platforms. These portable barricades here, they give you extra saves, but you can also move them around as well. And then you've got these utility grenades, so you've got smoke grenades, stun grenades, frag grenades and crack grenades, which all have different things. I'll have to have a proper read through this. There's a lot of information in here. And now we've got the core rulebook as well, which let's have a look through this. Kill Team Core Book. Contents. Welcome to the Kill Zone. Collecting, gaming, getting started. Dark Imperium. That looks like basically sort of background story. And then you've got the rules from page 34 through to 79. There's a lot of rules in these. And then page 79 to 104 is the missions. The rules. Here we go. Core rules. Strategy phase. I'm going to have a really good read through this lot. I mean, I could sit here and read it all out, but I think you've probably got better things to do than listen to me read 70-something pages of rules for the next 4 hours. So, yes. Suffice to say, I think I've got my work cut out for me. I'm going to build and paint all that lot and then learn this entire rule book. And then, yeah. And then lose really badly against my nephew, who's really good at playing Warhammer. Well, that's my brain fried. There's, yeah. That. I'm going to have to sit down and read all this lot very thoroughly, I think, before I even try and play this game, because that's quite a lot of rules. And it's interesting, certainly. I mean, there's quite a lot of stuff in there about moving around terrain. Obviously, this is a much smaller game than, you know, normal Warhammer 40k. You've got like 30-40 models on the board all at the same time. Anything from little infantry right up to bloody great big tanks and stuff like that. And this is just individual models, so it's a lot more involved, I suppose, because you usually with Warhammer 40k you move an entire group of infantry as a group. You can't sort of split them up and send some round this way and some round that way and one up a ladder and that kind of thing. Whereas in this one you can, so there's a lot more to think about. And I like the way that you can't just build all of the special weapons guys and bung them all in one army, so half of your army are wielding flamethrowers and grenade launchers and sniper rifles and stuff. You have to pick and choose which ones you take, which is quite handy. So yeah, that's a quick look through the rules as well. Okay, so that's a look at the new Hivestorm Kill Team set from Games Workshop. It's a nice set, this. It's got everything in there you need to play the game, apart from paint and glue, obviously, for the figures and the terrain. But everything that you need is in there. So you've got all the terrain, all the figures, the boards, the rule book, all the marker tokens, all that kind of stuff. So you can just buy this, take it home, build it and paint it, and play the game without having to buy anything else, which is handy. All the terrain is nice and chunky and very, very heavily moulded, so that it won't get damaged, which is really good as well. All the parts are very, very nicely detailed, you know, as we come to expect from Games Workshop. And yes, they make very nice models. It's nice that they've got the new Vespid in there. And as I say, I'm not sure about the equivalents. I don't know if they've been in the game before or if they've only been available as resin figures or something like that. But I've not seen, I don't remember seeing them. But then, to be fair, I'm a Tau player, dirty Tau player, so I don't really know much about the other armies, I'm afraid. Oh, hang my head in shame. But anyway, it's a nice box set and it weighs a bloody ton, and there's loads of stuff in there. So yes, very highly recommended, especially if you want to get into the kill team side of things, because everything in one box. But yeah, I'm going to head indoors now and try and get this video edited, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like what I do here, please subscribe to my channel. There are also some more videos for you to watch on screen, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.